What's up, YouTube? My name's Brian. I'm from Team Board Wipe, and I just won a prize card tournament hosted by TGG.
Joey Terhune of TGG and Travis Newman, boy.
Sorry, yeah, them. And it was for a super giant hand. It's right here.
Is it nice?
Looks pretty nice.
It's definitely.
Is it bent or is it mint?
It is pretty mint.
I don't think you verified.
I did. I pulled it out and I looked at it. It's pretty nice.
I'll pay you for it.
How much?
I mean, if it's bent, a few dollars.
So, I played pure Sky Striker with the Phantom Sky Blasters just because I wanted ways to, I wanted fast win conditions, and Sky Pure without that just doesn't really have it. And I don't want to play Trickstars because there are a lot of decks, just randomly have good matchups against the Trickstar variant, like Gouki and ABC apparently. And I didn't want to lose to just decks that I think aren't very good but have a good matchup against Trickstar. So I played the Sky Blasters, and it worked out really well because it's a deck that can go first or second. The OTK is live, and I played some cards that I'm not sure a lot of people are playing, but some people are in the main deck that I think helped a lot when I did go second. So we'll just get into it. We got the 3-Ray, obviously, and the 3 Sky Blasters. This card is amazing. I won a couple games when I drew only this, because if you draw this in hand traps, you can summon it, do some damage, hand trap them so they can't kill your board, summon it again, and make more link plays. So Sky Blaster is just a really good card that helps you generate advantage and break boards. And then for hand traps, I played 3 Ash, 3 Droll. You can play Droll in this build because you can kill them. Droll and Pure without Sky Blaster I don't think is very good, because then you're losing a card and you're not, you're stopping their turn, but this deck plays a lot of turns without Sky Blaster, so since I was playing Sky Blaster I can afford to play Droll. And then I played Gamma. So I played 3 Gamma and 1 Driver. My reason behind this was I didn't want to lose to Droll, and it's really easy to bait a Droll. Players game 1 are not going to not Droll you if you terraforming or if you engage because they're afraid of Gamma. They're just not going to do it. So you can hit a Droll, hit another card out with Omega, and then you have a recurring Omega that's constantly hitting a card out of your hand, and you can continue your plays. And then going second against Gouki, it doesn't lose to Call by the Grave. And every other hand trap does. So it was between this and Impermanence. So I felt like this going first was better than Impermanence, even though it had a brick, just because this is more impactful when it resolves than Impermanence is. So I played the Gamma package. It was really strong today. I Gamma'd Firewalls in the Gouki combo. I Gamma'd at least 4 Drolls. It was really strong. That was all the monsters. For spells, 3 Engage, 3 Hornet Drones. Only 2 Widow Anchor, because you didn't need the 3rd for the late games because you're playing the Sky Blasters, so you're killing them sooner. So your games aren't quite as long, so I didn't feel like I needed a 3rd. And drawing double isn't usually good.
Say what?
So I did that. And then just 1 Afterburners, 1 Jamming Waves, 1 Multi-Roll, 1 Hercules base.
That's why I'm here, supporting the team.
Hercules base is really good in a simplified game state if you can crash over their monsters and then plus. So you turn a simplified game state into one where you have more advantage, and then you can recycle your extra deck monsters with this. It's really important. And then I only played 1 field spell and 2 terraformings. Just because with the Sky Blasters and some other cards and the Gammas, it was hard for me to fit a lot of field spells. I like a lot of field spells, but even though we're playing Gammas, you still don't want to lose to Droll when you don't have Gamma. So you want to minimize Droll's impacts. So we just played 2 and 1, and if you draw all 3 of these, it really sucks. But if you draw 1 terraforming, 1 field spell, you just send the terraforming to the grave, get whatever Sky Striker card is next, and it's not terrible. It just turns this into another Sky Striker card. It's not as plus as you could be with the field spell, but it's not the worst. So you can still play when you draw double of any of these. And then for the non-Sky Striker spell cards, we did 1 Rhoda, 1 Upstart, and then the goods package. 3 goods, 1 fusion. And then I main decked Triple Shared Ride. Please ignore the rarity. I don't own any, so I'm borrowing Jake Kinsey's extras, also from Team Board Wipe. It's pronounced Kinsey, for the love of God. if one more person calls him Jake Quincy, I'm gonna just throw something. But the main deck shared rides, I played because, like, even if I go second, like this deck, even though it has the Sky Blaster OTK, it's really good at playing mid and late game. So, like, it thrives mid and late game, and the Sky Blaster allows it to OTK. So, I feel like playing shared ride, even if you're going second, is still good, because then you can make plays, and then you can shared ride them, and then, unless they kill you, which doesn't happen very often if you have 5 other playable cards, unless they kill you, shared ride is really strong. And it was amazing today. I think it's a really good card to main deck for the meta right now, and I wouldn't change a thing. So that's 40 cards for the main. Nothing too like crazy, but I mean main deck shared rides and gammas I think are less popular than other cards. A lot of people are playing desires, and that's something I'm toying with, but I don't know. For the extra deck, 3 Kagari, 3 Shizuku. And then the cards for the Sky Blaster FTK. So, Tooling Spider, Space Insulator, Flame Administrator, and Decode Talker. It's the 8400 combo. So there's not a lot of like flexible space with this extra deck, which sucks. But I did side 1 extra deck card today, and I think it was really good. The 4 spots that I also had were Omega, because I was playing Gamma, and this is the one I could take out, because Gammas are easy side out cards. When a good player sees them, they'll start playing around Gamma. So you can keep Gamma in going second, because it's still good. You can't play around Gamma going first if you're a Gouki player, unless you just can't. So, but when you're going first, you can side them out, which means you side out the Omega for the extra deck card that I put in the side deck. And then Knightmare Phoenix and Knightmare Unicorn, because these are the best 2 Knightmares in my opinion. I didn't feel the need to play Mermaid, because more often than not, if you have an Ibli, you're also extra linked. So like summoning Mermaid, you can't summon Mermaid, so there's no point in wasting a spot for it. And then a Borload. Borload's just a really important card. There was one match where I sat on a Borload for like 10 turns against the Trickstar Sky Striker player who had already used his Widow Anchor and couldn't get it back. So I was like, I win. It was great. So that was the 15 card extra deck. And the side deck, the extra deck card I sided was Topologic Bomber Dragon. This card is insane. I want to main this card. I want this to be in my extra deck so much that I couldn't justify taking it out. So I sided it. Just because against Gouki, a reoccurring board wipe that you can use more than once per turn if you have multiple Hornet drones, it just like wins you the game, because they can't do anything. They make 1 push, you board wipe it, they get their searches, maybe they can make another push, but then after that they lose. So like, it's just a really good card. I think it's a must. If you're playing Trickstar Sky Strikers with Scapegoats, or if you're playing Phantom Sky Blaster and you're not playing this card, I don't think that's correct. This card is insane. Which allowed me only 14 spots on the side deck, but I think a lot of these are really flexible. So I didn't miss the extra side spot that I took with Topologic Bomber Dragon. We did 3 sphere modes for the Goukis. That's the only thing I sided going second against them, just because I have Droll, Ash, and Gamma. I didn't think I needed anything else. 3 Call by the Grave that I sided always against ABC. I replaced the Gammas with these when I'm going first against certain decks if I don't want to get hand trapped, and it's already good against, like Gouki, Call by the Grave is really good against their hand traps, and in certain situations with their graveyard effects. And then against Sky Striker variants, it's really good. So I side that in. 2 Twisters. Before the tournament, I actually wanted to do 3 Twister and 2 Call by the Grave, but I couldn't find my 3rd Twin Twister. I don't know where it is. So I just put this in instead, and that actually worked out really well for me. Like, the 3 Call by the Grave was actually really good. So I don't know if I'd switch that up, but I intended to have 3 Twister, 2 Call, but this ratio works equally well. Then I did triple Mind Control. Round 1, I played against some, like, not like stupid stun deck, but it was a stun deck with Banishers and Fossil Dynas and a bunch of traps and Dark Bribes and crap. So I sided in the Mind Control so I could try and like steal their stuff and link away with it so I could actually make plays. And I think 2 of them got Dark Bribed one game. Like it was a good card to burn through his resources because like, he had to negate them for me not to just like get ahead in advantage. But other matchups it's good against was the Pure Mirror match. And sometimes I'll side it when I make any like Mekk-Knight Invoked variant go first. Sometimes I'll side it for an easy bait for the Macabre. And like if you have Gamma for the Macabre too, you can mind control. They either let it through with Macabre or they negate it. And if they negate it, you Gamma it. And if they don't, then you have a Macabre negate for like your other plays. So like it's really good. And then 3 Mind Crush. I'm pretty sure I sided Mind Crush like every time going first. Just because like knowing your opponent's hand is really valuable. So even if it's not necessarily good against a certain deck, when you're going first, if you can afford the space, knowing your opponent's hand and knowing what to play, what to Widow Anchor, if you can resolve Droll, if they haven't. I played against a Gouki player with an Eagle Booster. So like if I like know he has an Eagle Booster, I know not to Ash the Assault when he has no main deck or no main monsters on monsters. And it also rips cards out of their hand. Double Mind Crush is amazing, probably against like any deck you play against. It's so valuable. So the knowledge is valuable, and hitting cards out of your opponent's hand so they can't play is just really good. So like if I could afford to main deck this card, if I found space for it, I would. It was between this and Shared Ride, and I ultimately picked Shared Ride because I think it has more value and more matchups. But Mind Crush is a card I put in almost every time going first. So that was the deck. Nothing too crazy, but it was fun. Sky Blaster is fun. OTK and people is fun. Winning giant hands is fun.
Any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Team Board Wipe. We got new jerseys.
And a mat.
And a new mat. Yeah, you'll see us in Nats. Got a few players going. And shout out to TGG for hosting the tournaments. And as always, this isn't a deck profile I've done at my house, but if you go to Team Board Wipe's YouTube and look at my deck profiles, my cat Izzy makes a regular appearance. She's my biggest fan. She always supports me in everything that I do. So you can go check out Team Board Wipe videos and see Izzy. Shout out to her. And that should do it.
All right, man. Thanks for the profile, and hopefully we'll be doing this again when you, make it to Worlds.
I'm trying. That's all up to Jesse Cotton and Ryan Levine at this point.
Third in World points, right?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, third doesn't go, but that's okay.